That time of year again. Making a second video. This is my second prosthetic appliance from ScreamTeam.com. This time I've decided to go with Deadly. Here's the mask here. Essentially it's, I'm going to turn it into a zombie. Okay, cut. So I just wanted to quick mention that this video answers a lot of questions from the first video that I made about the clown, and essentially it's very boring. So I just wanted to quick mention, if you're more interested in the Deadly mask, then you can go ahead and skip to part 2. This first part is really just answering questions about what makeup I used, some stuff about the wig of the clown, and some other stuff. Also mentioning a lot about the Scream Team DVD near the end of the video. So please, if you're interested in that information, go ahead and keep playing the video. Otherwise, you can go ahead and skip forward to the next one. Just wanted to mention that. Thanks. Hope you enjoy. Bye. Bit of a close-up shot. But it's got some deep eye sockets, got wrinkles in the face, gonna look kind of cool. I'm gonna do it in gray with maybe a little bit of purple or something like that in the wrinkles, make it look a little more dead, and I'll put some blood on it. Should be fun. Before I get into that, I wanted to give some responses to some of the comments on my last video, on the clown video. I had a lot of questions about the wig. So, as somebody pointed out, you're supposed to do makeup on the wig and put liquid latex on it before you do that, so you can get makeup on the wig. And I did do all that. It just got cut out of that video. So, insert picture here. So this is the clown. So I did latex on the top of the skull cap wig, and then I did some white makeup on top of that. So the wig goes down first, and then your mask goes on top of that. So in the last video it was the opposite, because I was just playing with makeup and it was just a test run. But this is the photo from Halloween, and so I did hairspray. What I did is I hung my head upside down, put a whole bunch of hairspray in the hair, and then backwards combed it to make it look all ratty like that, and turned out pretty well. So yeah, that's how the wig's supposed to be. So that answers that question. I also got some questions about what supplies I used and how I put everything together. So, well, let's start with the mask. The mask I got from ScreamTeam.com. And there were some questions about the nose. The nose piece came with the mask. Somebody had a question about that, but yeah, my nose came with the mask. And also I wanted to do a shout out to Scream Team and say thank you to them, because they liked my last video and they actually sent me this t-shirt, so I figured, give them a shout out. Thank you very much. Hope Scott Ramp actually got to see the video. If so, awesome. And then makeup. So makeup for the mask, you're really supposed to use something called rubber mask grease paint. It was kind of hard to find, actually. There's a big Halloween shop here in Minnesota, but they didn't have it. So I went looking on the internet, and I actually found a link off of the Scream Team website to a place called FX Warehouse, and I think it might be fxwarehouse.info or something like that. It's not .com, but if you go to Scream Team's website, you would be able to find the link to that under their links page or something like that. But they had rubber mask grease paint. So for the rubber mask grease paint, I did a little a white single, because I figured I was going to go through a lot of white for the face. And then they had this color wheel. The color wheel had red in it, and it had, I don't think it's black, but it's a really, really dark brown color. And I didn't end up using the other colors, but it was just cheaper to get it that way as opposed to buying a red and a black. And that was really all the colors I used on the clown. I just did white, did the nose in red, and then I just used a really dark color and the little wrinkles and crevices of the mask, and just to make it look a little more dramatic. For cleaning the face, you're supposed to use rubbing alcohol or 70% alcohol. I actually just got that from the grocery store up the street. They had it there. I walked in and said, hey, do you guys have rubbing alcohol? And they found it for me. And then you're supposed to water down the makeup a little bit. It makes it a little easier to work with because the Rubber Mask grease paint is really thick. So they suggest using 99% alcohol, which as you can see here, I got that from FX Warehouse as well. Brushes, I don't think you really need any fancy brushes for this. I happened to go to a place called Sally Beauty Supply, and they had a brush set. I want to say it was like $15 or something like that, but they had just an assortment of brushes. So I got a big one, a medium, and a small. I got a powder brush just because after you powder the mask, a lot of excess powder on your face, so I just got that to brush all the excess powder off. For application, I went through a lot of Q-tips, and what else? Oh yeah, from FX Warehouse I got a whole bunch of these just little makeup sponges, and stipple sponge for doing little dots of color, making a little more depth in the color. And oh yeah, powder puff, definitely need one of those. So with the powder puff, you put your powder on there, get it all together, and that helps set the makeup. And I'm trying to remember what other questions there were. It took me about, I don't know, 2 hours to do the clown. Filmed a whole bunch, and when I went to load it to YouTube, I could only get 10 minutes in. So that's why a whole bunch of stuff got cut out, and there were a lot of questions about that. I also did liquid latex. The liquid latex I got from ScreamTeam.com. If I can find it here, there we go. I got the liquid latex from Scream Team as well. It was just on the website. It seemed easy enough, so I got that. And liquid latex was super easy to go around the edges of the mask to try to make it look more realistic, so that it just kind of smooths it out and makes the mask look more like it's part of your face. And then the big thing here, so some people were talking about whether to use spirit gum or a different type of adhesive. And spirit gum is really easy to use because it gets tacky, but you can still kind of peel things up before it dries. So for example, if I, put the mask on and I totally missed and I wanted to move it over, I could lift it up and move it over and do that still. It's not that big a deal with spirit gum. I use Pros-Aide is what I referred to it as, but what it really is prosthetic adhesive. I got this from a costume shop here in Minnesota. It's just Ben Nye prosthetic adhesive. That's what I use for my mask, and I liked it a lot. It actually, I thought it was going to be really hard, but it turned out to be, it gave you a little bit more wiggle room than I would have expected. So I mean, as soon as you put it, some on your face and some on the mask, and you stick it, it'll stay there. It's stuck. But if it's still wet, for example, in the last video, there's a couple times where you saw I used too much Pros-Aide, so it wasn't dry, it was still wet, so I could still kind of move things into place before it dried. Once it dried, that sucker was stuck. I mean, it was not coming off my face, and I'm actually really glad I used the Pros-Aide, and the mask was, it almost felt like your own skin. I mean, it was so tight on your face, you couldn't even tell that you had it on. It was actually quite comfortable. So that was pretty much everything I used. For the powder, I did get some Ben Nye colorless face powder, but according to Scream Team, they said you could just use baby powder if you really wanted to. It's really not that big a deal. But I guess I was, I don't know, wasting money and did that. This time around, I got a new color wheel. So here's the one that I got last year with the more, I don't know, regular colors. This time I got a new color wheel. This one's, I think it was called the Injury Wheel. Has some dark purples, dark maroon, green, a blue color. But I think that should be kind of fun for the zombie, make things look a little more dead. And then I also got a new single one. I forget what color they called this. Frankie Gray. So for the zombie, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, if I was going to do a gray base color or a green base color. I've kind of seen it both ways, and I kind of like that gray lifeless color as opposed to the green rotting color. But hey, go do your own zombie and do it whatever way you want. It'll be fun either way. But that's what I decided to do. And oh yeah, one more thing. Hold on. Alright, so that one other thing. So I pulled up the screamteam.com here and I couldn't find it, so I just hit buy on something, and that brought me into their Yahoo store. And what we're looking at, if my camera focuses, kind of hard to tell if it will or not, but this right here, this is the instructional DVD as of 2011 here. It looks like it is $24.95. You can also see there's the liquid latex, there's their little makeup kit that has the powder puff, the spirit gum, rubber mask grease paint, and also on the website here you can find their wigs. So as you can see, there's the red clown wig. That's where I got my wig from last year, and worked out really well. They have it in all sorts of different colors, so you can get really fun with the clown. But in all honesty, I know nothing about makeup except for what I've learned from this DVD and maybe a couple videos on YouTube. So before you do one of these masks, I can't stress it enough, go out and get this DVD. You learn tons. It's pretty cool, and Heckles and Twitch are in it. They're kind of fun too. But Scott will take you through everything from how to, I mean, he even explains, cleaning the face before you put it on. He explains how to adhere it to your face, and he shows you how to do it with spirit gum, Pros-Aid, and something else, I think. And then he shows you how to hide the edges, which is really important. So he shows you different ways of doing that too. So if you want to do the liquid latex, he shows you how to do that. If you just want to use the Pros-Aid, if you use that for your adhesive, you can use that. Or if you don't want to use any of it and you just want to use makeup to just kind of trick the eye a little bit to hide the edges, so he shows you that too. There's a section on the extras part that shows you more about how to set up the wig for the clown, and can't think of what else right now, but it's really informative. It's a really great DVD, and like I said on the last video, I'm not trying to prevent you from needing a DVD to learn how to do one of these masks. It's more or less, I think it's kind of fun, so I want to show people how I did my mask and share that with people. But don't take this stuff from me. Go out and get this. It's really cool. So I've actually filmed a lot more stuff than I expected to, so I might just load this as a separate video and then start a new one for the zombie. But yeah, so hope that answered the questions you guys had. Please don't hesitate to comment on the video or send me a message if you got a question. I'll try to help. But otherwise, yeah, I think that answered everything, so we'll go on to the next video.